Good morning, everyone. This is Sarah, and welcome to my live video chat. It's Tuesday, and like every Tuesday, we try to have a live video chat at 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Now, you'll need to check your time because I don't know how all the times lay out through the world to make sure that you're on at the right time. Up here in Colorado, where I'm at, 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Now, I've had quite an interesting morning this morning. Okay, I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget. Okay, so I went to make my coffee, and I went to grab the coffee, but I grabbed the beans, so I spilt them on my head. All right, so then I turned to go and get the broom, and I tripped over my dog. It landed in the coffee beans. So then I get up and try to grab the broom, and the cabinet door's open, and I bonked the top of my head with the cabinet door. So I'm standing there thinking, am I really supposed to have coffee today? Okay, so I get the coffee made, and I get everything all situated. And you know, my yarn little room or studio or whatever we call it is upstairs. So then I'm walking up the stairs, and guess what? I tripped walking right up the stairs. So I'm having quite the Tuesday. So have you got your coffee? Because I sure need mine. Clink in. And if you'll notice, I've got this adorable mug. My daughter made this for me, probably from like Shopperfly or something like that, Spotterfly, something. She sent this to me for Mother's Day, and this little boy right here is 10 now, and this precious little girl is almost 9. So it's been a while, but I love, love, love this cup. Well, I see some of you are already clinking in. Clink in. And I hope that your morning's going a little bit better than mine is. And I'm sure that I'm still going to have to grab that broom because, you know, when you drop a bag of coffee beans, they don't just hit the ground in a pile. They shoot across the room. And I'm going to probably find them in different places for about a month. So anyway, good morning, Michelle and Dana and Ann. So glad to see all of you. Hi, Ann. I miss you. I'm so glad you popped in. She's a dear friend that moved down south. So anyway, I've got a lot of really fun things to talk about today. My table is just covered in stuff to talk about. One of the questions that I got this week that I haven't gotten in a long time is, why do I call myself Posh Pooch Designs? And the truth is, it's a really, really long story, so I'm going to put it in a nutshell. I've been doing crochet patterns professionally for about 9 years. When I first started, I was only doing things for dogs and pets. And so we came up with the name Posh Pooch Designs because of my 2 little dogs that are hiding behind my back here. And then as I began getting more and more involved in pattern writing, and some of the yarn companies were contacting me, I began making other things because some of them would say, well, I'm going to send you this particular type of yarn. Can you do a scarf, or can you do a hat? And so then I started branching out into more and more things. And so 2 years ago, let's see, this is 2018. So it was in 2014. Wait, that's 4 years ago. Anyway, I wanted to keep the name Posh Pooch Designs because that's who I am, and I still do a lot of things for dogs and pets. But so we changed our motto to patterns for pooches, patterns for people, and patterns for fun. And it's just evolved from there, gotten more spread out, and I'm having such a good time making and designing patterns for different companies and for me, and it's just been a lot of fun. It's been a great journey, and you know, I just really thank all of you for following me along, you know, through this journey, and because I learn something every day, and I love the questions that you send me because sometimes I forget that some of you have just learned who I am just recently and not followed me all along. So anyway, that's how I became Posh Pooch Designs. And I decided just to go ahead and keep the name because I like it and it's fun, and I still do, you know, a few things for dogs. And I still sell a lot of my crochet patterns for dog sweaters and blankets and things through my Etsy and Ravelry and Craftsy shops. So, and if you're looking for a lot of my stuff, you can find me on Etsy, you can find me on Ravelry, and you can find me on Craftsy. And you know, I also have my blog and my webpage, and all of those links are always underneath. When I put the video on YouTube, all those links are always underneath there, but just Google Posh Pooch Designs or Sara Sach, and you can find my spots. And they're also on the Facebook page in the links there. So moving along that stuff, the other question I got was, you know, I released this pattern for the bobblehead ear warmer. And so my friend of mine, she's like, well, what's the difference between an ear warmer and a headband? And kind of like just the way the name's spelled, just to be funny. But in reality, a headband is considered a band that you wear on your head for decorative or sport reasons that really is less than 3 inches. And an ear warmer is considered a band that is more for keeping your ears warm, and it's over 3 inches, and usually they're about 4.5 to 5 inches. But the truth of the matter is, if you prefer a thin one and it still covers your ears, like this one almost covers my ears, you know, this is really the size I prefer. But when it's been really cold, like it has been here lately, I prefer to wear a headband, an ear warmer over a hat. And I really prefer them. I like wearing hats. I don't mind wearing them. I really love the messy bun hats that have the hole in the top. I really love those because I like to wear my hair in a ponytail when I go to the gym and swim. And a lot of times I don't blow dry my hair when I leave, and so I like to put on a ear warmer or a messy bun hat that I can stick the ponytail of the back of my hair out in. So, but you know, you don't have to have long hair to wear an ear warmer or a messy bun hat. You don't have to. Just poof your hair up out through the hole. It doesn't matter. Nowadays, you can messy buns and a kind of messy hair is really in style, and it looks really cute. And so, you know, you can do that. The bottom line is all headbands are not ear warmers, but all ear warmers are headbands. Is that kind of corny? It's okay. I'm kind of corny myself. And that really is the bottom line to that. You can call it whatever you want to, and a lot of designers that design crochet and knit patterns, or even patterns, or even that you find in the stores that you want to buy an ear warmer or headband, a lot of times they'll interchange the name. It really doesn't matter. When you're looking for patterns and you look under headbands and you don't find what you're looking for, then put in ear warmers. And another thing to remember, when you're searching online for a pattern or just a headband or ear warmer, sometimes the designers will put them together and write headband as one word, and sometimes they'll write it as 2 words. And it's the same thing with ear warmer. If you're on Ravelry.com and you're looking for a really great pattern and you've got something in mind but you can't find it, put the words together, ear warmer, or put them in 2 words. It just depends on what the designer of that pattern decided to call that pattern. I see a bunch of you have clicked in. Hi, let's see, Tammy and Karen and Susie and Sharon and Aurora and Judy. I'm so glad you're all here. Clink. And just remember, if you missed the beginning of the video, you can always rewatch it. And I always put them on my YouTube channel, and I always tweak them up a little bit when they're over there. And just remember, another thing is when you're looking at this video, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on YouTube, be sure and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you'll never miss a new pattern or new pattern video or new Facebook video, because I always put them over on YouTube. Alrighty, so let's talk about all the fun stuff I've got going on this week. Now, yesterday we did lesson 2 in our Back to Crochet Basics. Lesson 1 was just basically learning how to chain, how to do the slip knot, and how to tie off. Yesterday we went a little bit farther and we learned how to crochet single crochets in a row. We learned how to chain one and turn, how to keep our rows even, and this is what we made to practice. Now, every one of our lessons that we're doing that are back to crochet basics, there are 12 lessons, and every lesson you're going to learn a new technique, a new stitch, and some new things. And then we always have a pattern that we can do to practice. The first week we did the chain scarves, and then this week we did the bookmark, and we also learned how to do a little bit of fringe. Now, I try to do these, I said last week, but what I really meant was last lesson, because I try to do the lesson every other Monday for the next 12 weeks. And this is really just, I had a lot of people ask me a lot of basic questions, and then I had several ladies that said, you know, I've been crocheting for 30 or 40 years and I still haven't mastered this particular thing, and asked me if I would teach some lessons. So I thought that's a really great idea. And so I have 12 lesson plans written out, and I'm going to do them every other Monday. If you go to my blog, at the top of the blog, you'll see a thing that's the tab, and it says Back to Crochet Basics, and you click that tab and it will have the videos and then the date that it's going to be released as we do them. And I'm going to leave that there forever. That way, if you ever have a question about a technique that we talked about, you can go back and watch that video again. And I've tried to make them between 15 and 20 minutes so that they're not too long that you get bored. But we cover everything, and I know I cover a lot of stuff fast, but it's a lot of good information. Some things are things that I kind of took for granted that I know. But if you're a new crocheter, or even like this one lady said to me, I've been crocheting for 30 years and I haven't even learned this stuff. So it's been kind of fun, and so I hope that you'll enjoy those. That's what happened yesterday. That was a lot to say, wasn't it? I'll try not to be so long-winded. All right, so last week we did our Sock Monkey bibs. This used to be a paid pattern, and I decided to put it out there for free just because somebody asked me if I had a video. And so it's just a cute little Sock Monkey pattern. We did that last week, let's see, either Thursday or Friday, and that's out there. You can find that. So what's happening this week? Clear my throat. Coffee break. So I've got something really fun for this week. This is a granny square doily that I designed. And this one is done in worsted weight number 4 yarn. And then I thought, wouldn't it be fun if I made some in some chunky yarn? So I didn't design it, but I made it in the same design as the other one in the chunky yarn. Let me show you the difference in the size. Isn't that fun? And so here's the red one. This one's in sparkly yarn. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can see. It's sequins. I'm sorry. Yeah, sequins. Anyway, these are fantastic to make. You can use them for a doily, and you can make them in cotton and use it for a washcloth. It'd be great to add to a Valentine gift if you're giving someone like a soap set or something. And you can put a candle on it, whatever you want to do. You can even make a scarf, hook them all together, or you can make, they call that a bunting, where you put all the hearts together, all the pieces, and hang it up for Valentine's Day. So it's really super simple. It's going to be a photo tutorial on my blog, and then I'm going to do a video probably Thursday or Friday of this week. And then I had one more request. And I had this pattern that I'm going to show you in just a second. I wrote like 8 years ago. And it's different than the ones that you've seen. So this is my Swiffer cover. And if you'll notice, going the wrong way. There we go. It has ridges. And this pattern is done where you make it in a long, like this. Then you fold the sides over, and then we stitch across here and across here. And then it's really stretchy. And I called this my hair grabber Swiffer because all these ridges grab the hair. And if you make this in a worsted weight acrylic yarn, it'll get all those hairs. And if you make it in a cotton, it's great for scrubbing. And the pattern works for both cotton and acrylic. And I'm going to do that at the end of this week as well. So that's what's new as far as crochet patterns. And then the other thing I wanted to show you is some new yarn. I had to go back to Michael's 3 times. I went in the first time when they said they had released the yarn, and she said, we haven't gotten it yet. So then I went back on this last Friday. After I went to the gym, I swung by there, and I said, okay, you said you'd have my yarn in, because they know me, you know, at Hobby Lobby and Michael's, both they call me the yarn lady. And so she said, well, you know, we got it in. It's just not out yet. We're still unpacking. We'll get it out, and it'll be here tomorrow. So Saturday morning, my husband had somewhere he had to be, and so I got up, I took my shower, and I shot out, and I went over to Michael's, and they had it. Karen Chunky Cakes. Now, I haven't got a chance to try it yet, and so I got this one and another one that's back there too. I just went ahead and got 2 different colors. I usually get 2 of the same, but I've got an idea of what I want to do with this one, because look at these colors. I mean, is that not gorgeous? And the other one is looks like cupcake colors. It's so pretty. And so I have an idea of what I'm going to make with them. And so I'll have that out there in a couple of weeks, because, you know, it takes time to get them tested and all that stuff. But, yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. And some yarn that I should be getting in the next week or so is the new Red Heart. It's called It's a Wrap. And they have 2 kinds of yarn. They have how the abrupt changes like some of these are, which y'all know I love those. A lot of people don't care for them, but I do. I just think they're so much fun. And then the other one that's called It's a Wrap is where the colors blend in. It's really kind of cool. And when it goes from one color to the other, the color blends and then moves on. And they're really, really pretty. They're like I call it a smeary rainbow, because that's what it reminds me of. So, and the thing about the Red Heart It's a Wrap yarn is they are a 1 in weight, where like your regular ones are usually a 4. Some of them are a 3, like Mandela is a 3. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to get to experiment with those and do a review, so I'm excited about that. So I hope it comes in soon. I have such a yarn addiction. I really do. I can't help it. I love yarn. You know, last week I was talking about how to, in our live video, how to identify a yarn. And I made the statement, you know, get it wet and then smell it. And then if it smells like a wet dog, it's usually an animal fiber. And this lady sent me a message. She said, I was dying laughing. My kids wondered what I was, you know, laughing at. They come in and they just see you talking. They're like, Mama, what is so funny? She said she tried it. She knows which ones are animal fibers now. So, you know, sometimes you do silly things because you need good information, right? All right. Well, today's video, I didn't want to take too much of your time. I just wanted to talk a little bit. I asked you last week if you think I packed too much information in a short video. Most of you said I don't. And one lady said sometimes, but she just rewatches it over and over again. That's okay with her. So, and that's okay with me too. All right. So I'm going to let you go today. I want you to have a wonderful and wonderful week. It was snowing here and it was cold, but it's a beautiful day today. So, have a great Tuesday. Keep your smile on your face. And remember, a smile costs you nothing, but when it's given away, it's priceless. Have a great week.